Hello, and welcome back to Middle Class Renaissance. I'm Keith. Today I'd like to go through something that I do every day of the year, and I found it really helps me out. For years, I kind of sporadically did this, probably more days than not did it. This year, finally, I made the decision to just do it every single day without fail, and that is to make a list. I like to map it out, preferably the night before, for what I'm going to do the next day. I've found I'm a lot more organized and a lot more productive when I have a list. If the choices are between go to bed and then just wake up the next day and kind of wing it and just see how I feel, see what I want to get up to that next morning, I get a different result than if I map it out the day or the night before and say, these are the things that I have the intention of getting done tomorrow. So here's how I do it. I understand you guys, with all of your smartphones and computers and everything, you may want to make notes or do something, electronically or digitally. I get that. I'm old school and I'm a contractor, and I've always been in the habit of having a clipboard and go to measure at people's job sites for hardwood flooring projects and say, okay, here's this, here's that, and the other. So I'm generally a clipboard guy. But to me, it's not so much what is on the list, but just that a list is being made. And so there's nothing really earth-shattering on here. Let's see what we've got. The first line every day, I put gratitude. Just kind of wake up and just think of some things that I'm happy about and kind of stretch in bed a little bit for a couple minutes before I get up. That's my first line every day, gratitude. Second thing on the list is read, which I do nearly every day of the year. Not every day, but most of them. And so I put read, finish the book, which I did this morning. I only had 2 chapters left. This was a book by Michael Singer called The Untethered Soul. And very, very interesting book. I was telling my wife about it. She gets down out of the mountains from being up at her parents' near Nederland, Colorado. She gets back this afternoon. So she says this will be next for her to read. Let's see here. Make banana bread. We've got that in the oven right now. Coming up next will be fertilize the lawn. I mowed it right before dark last night. And we've been fighting a little bit of rain the last couple of days and got it mowed, and now it's time to fertilize. Probably the last time for the year for this growing season. Look at house plans and find the red stamped information from the county. I've got the one that's all inked up in red from Taos County for our Red River, New Mexico building project, and they've stamped on there things that need to be done per their code. So, okay, one of the contractors is asking me for some specifics. What did they stamp in red as far as mechanical, electrical, and plumbing? And so I composed an email to him to say, hey, I'll be down in 3 days and I'll have this with me. Let's take a look at it together. So that was on the list. Glenmere Park. Go take a couple laps around Glenmere because I need to go in to get my hair trimmed at 5 today and do that 2-3 times a year. So in for that for a 5 o'clock appointment. And I thought, hey, as long as I'm driving into town and driving right past Glenmere Park, let's go to Glenmere and get a couple laps in. Looking good. On the side. But basically, I don't think the activities that I'm doing are quite, so important, but just the fact that I map it out, I think is. And to have a plan, so plan the work first, and then to work the plan. It's just so much easier to work the plan when the plan has already been mapped out. So that's how I do it. So just fanning through, some days there's not as much to do. Maybe it's a weekend, or maybe it just is an off day between jobs. Another thing that's nice about this is I can look back. It's like, oh, when did I take that trip, or when did I do X, Y, or Z? Well, it's all recorded here. So anyway, I just bought this binder. I think they were asking 50 cents for it at the Greeley area Habitat for Humanity, and then they have 50% off on Saturdays. So I think the binder cost me $0.25. But getting closer to present day here.
This is
You Got a Friend in Me
Yep, by Claire and Dad.
by Claire and Dad.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from a nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Girl, you got a friend in me.
This is the second verse. I'm doing the second verse. You got friends in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles. I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, can see it through. 'Cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me.
Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. But none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you, girl.
And as the years go by,
Our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in